Hi, in this video, let me explain to you what each of the ports that are on the back of your soundbar are doing, in case there's some confusion or you want to learn stuff that you never used before. Now, your soundbar may have more ports than the one that you see over here, and I will cover more than these ones. Let's get started with the first one towards the right side here, HDMI out. This HDMI port, usually it will say under it TV ARC or sometimes just TV. It's the HDMI port that you need to use to connect an HDMI cable, just like that, to your TV. So you're going to take the other end of your HDMI cable. You're going to go on the back of your TV and you need to connect it to the HDMI port that says ARC. Sometimes it may also say EARC. So take the cable and connect it in this specific port. ARC, basically what it means is that the soundbar will be able to communicate with your TV. So every time you turn on your TV, your soundbar will turn on by default because your TV will be able to control it. Let's jump to the second port. Now, this one is rare these days. It's HDMI in. Basically, this HDMI in port serves as a pass-through. So here you can connect different devices. You can connect a gaming console, a DVD player, a cable box, and many other devices. Basically, instead of connecting that device to your TV, you connect it in this HDMI port. The soundbar will extract the sound, so you're going to hear the sound that that device produces, and the image will be transmitted in the HDMI. It's not very useful because, again, you can connect your gaming console or whatever directly on the back of your TV. Next, we have a USB port. Depending on which brand you have, you may see that it's written service only. If it's service only, this USB port is only made to upgrade, or if you have a factory warranty repair getting done to your soundbar, they may use this USB port to extract some data or to send a new firmware, for example. If you don't see service only written under it, there's a good chance that your soundbar will be able to play MP3 files or any other music files that you have on a USB drive by connecting it here and selecting through the menu so that it plays. Again, not all soundbar will be able to do so. Next, we have optical. You can use this optical port over here with an optical cable that looks just like this one. Don't forget to remove the tip. You can connect your soundbar to your TV or to other devices using an optical cable. So you can connect one end in the back, and this optical cable, you need to make sure that you input this cable the right way. If you take a look, it has a specific shape. Okay, perfect. And many TVs on the back, if you take a look, will also have an optical port. Here is mine. So you can connect the other end of that cable over here, and your TV will be able to send the sound through an optical cable instead of HDMI. It's important to note that if you're going to use an optical cable, you won't be allowed to use Dolby Atmos if this is what you were interested. It only supports Dolby Digital and DTS, but not Atmos. It's a good backup overall. Your soundbar may also have a 3.5mm jack. In that case, you can connect phones, MP3 players, or older TVs through that jack using an audio cable, a 3.5mm. And some other soundbars may also have an Ethernet port, so you can connect an Ethernet cable on the back. This is if your soundbar has some smart features where it can connect to internet. Instead of you relying on Wi-Fi, you can connect it using that Ethernet cable directly to your internet router to have a more stable connection. And the last one, obviously, it's the power port. Your soundbar comes with a power cable, with a power brick that you need to connect over here to make it work. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. Subscribe, like, check my Amazon links in case you want to get a soundbar from Amazon. And I'll see you in the next one.